Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nelo and you're watching Nelo Stitches. Today we'll learn how to make this beautiful Basque waistline bustier with a gigot sleeve. Sorry, pardon my mannequin, there is no hand, so I had to use pin to hold the sleeve so that you guys will see the shape now. So it's packaging, everything is packaging. If you're new to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button below, like and share my video. So the basque is only at the front part while the back is straight. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the back now is straight. Look at it, the back is straight, so the basque is only at the front part. So if you're interested in this video, please keep watching and please like this video. Support me by liking this video. Just hit the like button. Thank you. So I'll be using a basic body for this. Please guys, I have a tutorial on this. Please go and learn it. It's really important you know how to do this. It will help you a lot. Okay, so I've already completed the back panel. I don't need to alter here. The only alteration I'll be doing is at the front. Okay, I'll only alter the front to get my bustier, right? So that is why I didn't mark my dart. So everything is the front. I've completed the back panel. So the length I'm working with is 22 while the length of the back is 20. This is because I will be adding 2-inch dart, bust dart to the front. Okay, by the time I add the dart, I close the dart, it will merge with the back. So watch that video, you understand what I'm doing. So now I'm marking my apex divided by 2, which is 8, divided by 2 is 4. Okay, so my bust span nipple to nipple divided by 2, my nipple to nipple is 8, divided by 2 I have 4. So that is what I marked here for my dart, and I stopped at 1 inch before the bust line. So on that line I'm going to mark 3/4 inch on both sides, and I'll connect it upward like this. So I mark 0.75 on both sides. So I'm going to connect it up towards the under bust line. So that line there is the under bust line. So I'm connecting to the under bust first. Okay. I'm trying to get the same thing so that my line will be straight. I'm marking the same 0.75 so that I will get a straight line. Okay, so that is my under bust, and I'm going to use a curve ruler to curve towards the bust like this bust line. Okay, so if you're good at your freehand, you can use that. So I curve it towards the bust line, and I'm going to mark my bust dart, which is 2 inches. From my bust line I mark 2 inches downward, and I'm going to go out from my nipple to nipple measurements with 1/2 inch, and I'll connect my bust dart like this. Okay, so now I'm going to connect. I'll be using a shoulder dart. So on the shoulder I'm going to measure the shoulder divide by 2. I'm going to divide the shoulder by 2, sorry, and I'll connect to the bust line like this. So I divide the shoulder by 2 and I connected to the bust line. Okay, and the neck width I use is 3.5. Neck width 3.5. The neck depth is 4 inches. Okay, while the neck width for the back is the same, 3.5, and the neck depth is 1.5 inch. Okay, I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect from that bust line down to that point, just to connect to get a curve, a nice curve. So just blend there so that it will curve a little, not too curvy though, because I'm not going to pad this. I'm making a top, so I did not pad it. So just to get that fine shape. Okay, so now when you close your bust dart, the waistline of the back and the front will rhyme. So now I'm taking my measurements, my bust divide by 4 plus 1/2 inch for ease. Okay, and this my under bust divide by 4 plus 1/2 inch for ease, and I'll measure the darts what I have here, and I'll place it back. I'm measuring the darts what I have here, I'll replace it here. Okay, and at the waistline I'll divide my waist by 4, and I'll mark, and I'll also add the dots I marked there. Okay, so I'm going to connect. So I add ease allowance to my top so that it should not be too tight. Okay, so I'm going to connect all my points together, and we are done. We are done with the alteration. So now I'm going to cut this out and close the bust dart so that it should rhyme with the back. Like I said, the length I use is 22 inches for the front and 20 inches for the back. This is because my back length is 2 inches shorter than my front. My back half length is 16 while the front is 18. This is because of our bust. So by the time I close the side dart or the bust dart, the side seam will align with each other. Okay, so guys, I forgot to add my zipper. I'm going to add my zipper. I'm going to start from this slant line I marked on the inside. So that line is used to tighten the center back to eliminate zipper bulging. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inch for my zip, starting from that line, following that shape and tracing it up. So guys, if you want to know how I do all this, please go and check that video out. Okay, go and check that video. I'm going to leave it on the description box below for you to watch that. So I'm going to connect my neckline to the zipper allowance like this. Okay, and I'll use a straight ruler to connect my points together. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out. I'm done with the back panel. Please guys, like and share this video. It will help the channel to grow. Okay, please just hit on the like button below and like the video. Okay, so now for the front, I'm going to slash through one of the darts, one of the dart leg. I'm going to slash through it like this. Okay, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to stop very close to the bust line. I'm not going to cut through. I'll stop close to the bust line and I'll open this side bust dart and I'll stop also very close to the bust where I slashed, and I'll close this dart like this. Okay, I'll use my masking tape to hold it together. Okay, I'll use my masking tape to hold it together. So once you close your dart, you notice that the side seam is no longer equal. You redraw it, you make it equal. So I'm going to do that with my ruler. I'm going to align the line and then I'm going to cut this out. Okay guys, this is what we have after cutting. As you can see, the back and the front waistline is now equal after closing the bust dart. Okay, just at the center front that the waistline of the front will be a little bit longer, but for the side they are now equal. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to use tape to hold this together so that we can cut our Basque effect for the front. So I'm going to close this with a tape like this. Then you're going to cut the Basque effect. I'm going to bring another piece of paper and I'll place this on it. Okay, and I'll use my tape also to hold it together like this. So for the Basque effect, you can use 5 inches, you can use 6 inches depending on the length you're working with. Okay, so I'm going to redraw my waistline. I can see the so that I will know where to start marking, taking my measurement. Okay, so you can use 5, you can use 6, but I want to use 5 here. Okay, so I marked 5 and I'm going to connect it to the waistline I'll use a curve ruler. You can make yours straight, you can make yours curve. So I want to curve it a little bit. I don't want it to be pointy. So I use my hip curve to curve it. And on this line, I'm going to mark, take the length. So to see the length I already have 27 inches long for my front. Okay, so I'll cut this out like this. And I'll slash open this, but before then I'm going to mark following the nipple to nipple line I have in there, mark it straight, and I'll open this up. So I'm going to open remove my tape, but if you cannot remove your tape, just use your scissors and cut through. But I'm removing my tape and I will cut through the line like this. So I now have two pieces for the front. Okay, and this is my basque shape. So this center front here, I'll be cutting it on fold, this one on fold, and this one times 2. Okay, and now I'm going to fold my fabric and place this on it. Okay, so my fabric is on fold. I added half an inch inside. I added half an inch, and to the back I added 1.5 to the side, and also to the front side I added 1.5. At the down part hemline I added half an inch, and to the shoulder line I also add half an inch. So now I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so I add 1.5 inch to the side. Remember I said it's on fold, so what I'm cutting is two pieces. The front is 2, the back is 2, and I use 2 yards of fabric, 2 yards and 14 inches. Okay, so notch your bust line and your under bust and also your dart. So now I'm going to iron interfacing on this, which I've done. I ironed an interfacing on it, and I'm going to sew it this way. Okay, starting from the down part, you sew. Make sure you're matching your under bust and your bust line together, and then you sew through upward, starting from the waist. Okay, you sew towards your shoulder, and to the back I will sew my dart and also fix my zipper. Okay, and I also cut my lining exactly the same way I cut the fabric. The only difference is I did not add an interfacing to the lining. I added an interfacing to the ankara because it's a small ankara and I wanted to have a little bit thickness, so I added a tissue stay. Okay, so I've joined the front panel together, as you can see. Okay, next I'm going to join the two shoulders together. Make sure you open your seam and iron it. I'll still do that later, but I'll show you what I'll do now. I'll pin the shoulder because I'll be sewing the shoulders together first and then the side. Okay, I'll also shape the side after joining my shoulder. I'll take my measurement and I'll shape the side. Okay, make sure you press open your seam. All right, so after joining my shoulders together, I'll shape the side of the top, and everything I did to this top I'm going to do the same to the lining. Everything as I sew this, I'm going to sew the lining the same way. Okay, sorry about the background noise, guys, it's raining. So for the sleeve, this is the remaining part of my fabric. I use the upper part to cut the top the body, so it's remaining the down parts which I'm going to use for my sleeve now. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. So I'll fold my material or fabric into two like this. Okay, so what I have here is exactly 2 inches, and I'll fold into 2 again. That's, I have 4 folds for the 2 sleeve. So unfold like this now is 18 inches, because 1 inch is 36, right? So unfold like this is 18 inches. So I'm going to trim out this part. So guys, I have a tutorial, a detailed tutorial on gigot sleeve. Please go and check it out. I'm going to leave it on the description below. Check it out. You know how to cut a gigot sleeve. So the length I am working with for this flay is 15. Okay, but what I have here is more than 15. I'll use that because it's a puff sleeve. So and the down part, I'll be using 6 inches for the down part, and for this part I'll use 15. So here I'm going to mark 4 inches here. Okay, I use 3.5, and I'm going to connect from here to that point like this. Just curve your sleeve, the very simple sleeve, guys, this way to that point. Okay, and that is all. And at the down part I'm going to mark 5 inches inward or 4 inches. So you can either use your bicep times 2 here, your bicep times 2, or you mark 4 inches inward like this. So I'm going to use 4 inches because I'll be using the whole of the 1 yard. Okay, so I'll connect this way. From that 4 inches I'll connect up towards the armhole, and I'll cut this out. So I'm trying to check to be sure that the sleeve are equal, so that one will not be short and one will be long before I cut. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out. So guys, I'll leave the tutorial on gigot sleeve on the description box, so that you go and check it out. You understand better how to make the gigot sleeve. Okay, so I'll gather the upper part of the sleeve. Okay, I'll gather the upper part of the sleeve. So now let's cut the cuff. So the cuff length I'm working with is 6 inches, and the cuff width is my bicep circumference, my round biceps. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to open this up, and then I'll measure out my bicep. So my bicep is 12. I'll add 1 inch to that, or 2 inches for sewing allowance, so depending on the available fabric you have. So my bicep is 12. I'll add 1 inch to it, so I'll be using ½ inch for my seam allowance, or you add 2 inches to it. So I'm shifting it upwards a little bit, which means I added 2 inches. Okay, so I'll cut this out. This is for my 2 sleeve. Okay, I'll still tear this. I said tear. It's still the same thing. I'll still tear open this other one for my second sleeve. So I'm trying to get a straight line, a straight shape for my sleeve. So it's going to be like this on fold. I'm going to be folding it like this. Okay, so like this is 7 inches, ½ inch for joining of the down part. Okay, so you need to take the length, your length. My length is 6, but unfortunately this is not up to 6. It's exactly 6, so there is no seam allowance. I'll manage 5. Okay, so I'll open this point, this side now. So this cuff is for the 2 sleeve. Please guys, go and watch the tutorial on how to make a gigot sleeve. You understand better. I'm managing this fabric, that's why I'm even confused on what to tell you guys. Okay, so it's going to be on fold like this. Okay, so it's going to be on fold like this. So now I'm going to go and gather my sleeve, and I will be gumming this. You can leave it like this, but I just want to gum it so that it will be a little bit thick. To place your lining right side facing the right side of the dress, and sew through the neckline like this. Okay, and then the side zip, and also the down part, the hemline. You join the lining on the hemline, the neckline, right side facing the right side of each other. I'm so sorry guys, I was explaining it. I did not know that my camera stopped recording when I was showing you guys how to sew it. I've already done that. And you notch your neckline. So I'm going to bring this out from the armhole. The armhole is the only place that is not sewn right now. Okay, so I turn this out from the armhole. Okay, so you place your lining right side of the lining facing the right side of your ankara, and you turn the neckline the side so very close to the zip, your first seam at on the dress, I mean top. Don't sew exactly on the zipper on where you sew your zip when you are attaching your zip. Just sew a little bit away from there, from that line, from your zipper seam, okay, for your lining. And you're going to turn it from the armhole. Okay, I'm sorry about this. I'll make another video and I'll show you guys how to turn have an inseam finishing. I was actually explaining it. I didn't know that my camera stopped recording. Okay, so we have a neat finish inside and out. Okay, I'm trying to zip it so that you guys will see how it looks. So you're going to press this, iron this. I've not ironed mine. I'm just showing you guys how it looks. I've not ironed mine. So you iron this to have a beautiful and neat finish. Okay, so let's turn the inside and see how it looks. So this is the inside of the top. The zipper everywhere is concealed neatly. So this is the sleeve. I've gathered the upper part to my armhole measurement, and I placed this one right side facing the right side of the cuff. I gathered it here. I placed it right side facing the right side of the cuff, and this one it was not enough, so I had to do patch. I had to cut and join. Okay, so I had to cut and join to manage my fabric. Okay, so it's still fine. Came out lovely. No, so I'm going to place this and top stitch on it to conceal the rough edge, so you have neat inside and neat outside. So the only place you're going to serge is where you shape your sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to fold like this and shape my sleeve, and I'll serge the sleeve and also the armhole. So it's going to look like this after you must have shaped your sleeve. Okay, and then you sew this to your top, and that is all. Thank you guys for watching. Like and share my video, and I'll see you in our next tutorial. Bye.